Hiya, Pa. They should be pretty good, although it looks like they've got a bee jam here at the door. One bee just jumped on me. Hopefully she's not gonna sting me. In the winter time, when it gets cold, if they don't stay clustered together, then they freeze in animation. And if it gets too cold, they'll actually freeze to death and they won't reanimate when it warms back up. So I guess kind of like humans, if we don't work together, then we all fall apart. So it's really important for us to come together, just like the bees, and work as a group. So it's important to make sure that their doorways are clear. It's cold. I'm hearing stories of these teenagers who aren't taking their medication. They're cutting themselves, they're doing drugs, they're drinking, they're trying to commit suicide. They're not taking their meds, you know. So it's like that behavior came as the parents, when they hit sexual maturity, told their children that they're HIV positive and that you can't have a relationship with people because you're HIV positive and you'll never be able to have children. And these are some of the things that were being taught to HIV positive children as they're coming to age. And then they're spiraling into this self-abuse situation. And I was like, okay, that's not what I want for my kid.
I have been very angry and spiteful about being sick my whole life, but I understand that it could have been different, and it's not her fault that it is the way it is. My name's Kris. I'm 22. My pronouns are he, him, and I was born with HIV. She never covered up the reason why I took meds. She's always told me, you know, there's something wrong with you. You need to take these so it doesn't get worse. And as I got older, she explained more and more what was wrong. And I think about 3rd grade was when I fully understood that I had a thing called HIV. Mom was not aware that my dad was infected until she was already pregnant with me.
He was HIV positive by the time he was 8 weeks old. When he was first born, he was negative, I was negative, and it was during our 6-week postpartum that we had turned. When I had him around other kids his age, it just seemed like he was just a little more mentally developed than his peers. And I assumed it was because of the way I treated him. I tried to treat him like, you do understand, I just got to help you understand. PCAF had lunch and learns. They'd teach us about the virus, teach us about the medicines, and I would jot down notes. And Kris would see me jotting down notes, and he'd pull out his papers and his pen, and he'd jot down everything he could. And then if he thought he was lost, he'd look over at my notes and then jot down what he saw on my notes. And so that was like the cutest. And so that also showed me that, okay, you understand that this is part of our life, because I've always said, you know, we're HIV positive and not everybody is okay with us being HIV positive.
Even if I didn't understand the information, I was still being given information that has helped me later on in life. And whenever I got partners, she made sure it's like, hey, you need to disclose this information before things progress, so it can't be held against you and they can't try to charge you with something. Living with HIV, I, unlike my other trans friends, can't just get the hormones online or something and get it that way. I have to actually go in and get the tests. It's hard sometimes because I have to do so much extra in order to just exist in my own capacity.
Thank you. You're so wise. Everything makes me proud of Kris. I mean, we all have our moments where we give up on things, but even when Kris gives up on things, he finds a different avenue to take. I'm proud of Kris for also trying to be strong, even at the times when I tell him, you know, that these things are going to be bad. But at the same time, he was just like, whatever. Those people are like, whatever, they're missing out. And that's true. They're missing out on you. They're missing out on a bigger experience in life that they're never gonna see.
Something I think people born with HIV need to hear is that we're not alone. there's more of us than it may seem, even if not in our own small communities. And that, it's not any different than someone who's older and sick. We're the same. We're still long-term survivors and all of that, and it doesn't make us any less than our peers as well.
At the very beginning of HIV and AIDS, there were not a lot of organizations to help people, and so the fact that PCAF has been here since 1989 and helping people has been phenomenal, and that they're still going and they're still helping to this day. And the things that they're able to do have actually grown, really. So they're evolving along with the rest of us.
It is a community of people that understand the stigma and the discrimination that happens because of something that we live with.
Even though I'm the only one in the PCAF community that I am aware of that is HIV with an HIV positive child, I have still found that the PCAF community has been 100% supportive, and even though no one's able to identify 100% with me and the experiences that I've had, I've at least had people that I can bounce off of and have given me ideas on how I can manage the situation that I'm dealing with.
I do think that PCAF could end the HIV epidemic in South Sound due to the fact that they help people that are living with HIV get insurances and medications and the resources that they need to stay undetectable so it can't transmit, as well as helping those that aren't infected, keeping that protection and getting either PrEP or condoms or any other preventable resources. It would make it super easy to end the epidemic if everyone was on board with doing all of that. And the resources are easy to get as long as you're trying to.
Everybody knows what it's like to live through this COVID pandemic. PCAF has been on the scenes of the HIV/AIDS epidemic since 1987. So please, if you can, support PCAF.